The mainstream media is too invested in their matter-of-fact reporting that serial chomo Jeffrey Epstein is, in fact, worm dirt. Even reliable sources report that he was Arkancided, and that's the end of the discussion. Well, don't place your bets yet, friends. There's only one way to figure this out. Let's see if the powers that be have the balls to take a stroll down this road. Dollars to donuts, they won't even mention this possibility. But before I get into my analysis, let's look at the top trending reports and statements that have fueled the controversy and spilled reasonable doubt all over this entire case. Background. An important note after Epstein's death. No one else will have standing to challenge the search warrant on his house. Everything will be admissible against any other defendant without possibility of a motion to suppress. Breaking news. Jeffrey Epstein's suicide, apparently the first suicide ever committed at MCC in New York. Breaking. Alleged camera malfunction last night at MCC where Jeffrey Epstein was locked up. 4 hours later, Michael Caudry retweeted breaking. Alleged camera malfunction last night at MCC where Jeffrey Epstein was locked up. Breaking. 2 guards at MCC who normally have overnight shift that watches over suicide risk inmates were both told to leave the area 3 hours earlier for scheduled maintenance to jail cells and hallways. This morning, Epstein was found dead. And not for nothing, prisoners do all of the maintenance, except for the plumbing, electrical, and locksmithing in any jail or prison in the country. And even then, guards are always on the scene to protect workers and ensure that contraband, such as cell phones, is not smuggled in. This apparently came from one of the workers in the jail. Not saying anything after this, please do not try to dox me, but last night after 0415 count, they took him to medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up. We do not release on the weekends unless a judge orders it. Next thing we know, he's put in a single-man cell and hangs himself. Here's the thing. The trip van did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number, and a guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. Reuters reports that prison guards skipped mandatory checks before Jeffrey Epstein's death. Well, obviously. And here are a bunch of photos comparing the dead guy on a stretcher with the photos of Jeffrey Epstein, showing vast differences in his facial features. Both his nose and his ears don't match, according to the posts. And I'll leave all those links in the description if you want to go down that rabbit hole. But I don't have any other information other than what I'm going to post here, and I'll leave the decision up to you. And another shocker before I present my own analysis and opinion is a post by CNBC that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in an old North Vietnamese war bunker on June 25, 2019, but was arrested July 6th in the Southern District of New York child trafficking case. This was sent to me by Stoney, but the article linked to the search says nothing about Epstein's suicide. I leave a link below. This was the screenshot sent to me by Stony I. It was posted on June 25th, 2019 by CNBC. When you do a search for CNBC Underground Bunker Jeffrey Epstein, the search result reads, June 25th, 2019. Jeffrey Epstein dies by suicide a month after arrest in child sex, and it says, I guess, trafficking, inside a Vietnam War-era bomb shelter. Careful, attentive reading of the text for that search result, which gives the date of June 25th for his suicide in an old Hanoi bunker, says a month after his arrest, would put his arrest for the child trafficking case sometime in May of 2019. Now, here are the recent articles that come up on a Google search. Jeffrey Epstein, financier, long accused of molesting minors. July 6, 2019. Jeffrey E. Epstein, a New York financier long accused of molesting dozens of girls, was arrested on Saturday and charged with sex trafficking by federal prosecutors in an extraordinary turn of events. Well, isn't that sweet? Jeffrey Epstein, a New York financier, long accused of molesting dozens of girls, was arrested on Saturday and charged with sex trafficking by federal prosecutors, an extraordinary turn of events in a long and sordid criminal case. Two people with knowledge of the charges said on Saturday night that Mr. Epstein had been arrested in the New York area and was in federal custody. Now this I find very interesting. I am doing this on my phone. I entered the exact same search terminology into Google, not Chrome, but Google. CNBC underground bunker Jeffrey Epstein comes up with this right here. CNBC 2019-06-25. Inside the secret Vietnam War bomb shelter found in, and it says Hanoi, CNBC.com, June 25th, 2019. Jeffrey Epstein dies by suicide a month after arrest in child sex trafficking, blah, blah, in a Hanoi, found sealed passageway sealed to an underground inside a Vietnam War bomb shelter. Now watch what happens when you click this link. Go inside the secret Vietnam War bomb shelter found in the bowels of Hanoi's oldest hotel. By Jessica Brzezinski, whatever her name is. You go through this and you read through it. There's a video. It talks all about the bunker and about how the bunker was built and all the iron doors and all this other shit. But not a word about Jeffrey Epstein committing suicide in a bunker on July 25th. You go back to the original thing, on June 25th, rather. How does he die June 25th? A month after his child sex. I mean, this is insane. This is insane. This is a CNBC fuck-up that was scrubbed because the search results find it. But when you click on the link for the article, it says nothing about Jeffrey Epstein committing suicide in a Hanoi war bunker. Nowhere in this article does it mention it. Nowhere. It's all ads and all this bullshit. Okay? Little puppy dogs. Okay? So this is something that should be looked into. And now I'll present my little analysis. This story was apparently scrubbed off the internet, as a diligent search was not able to pull up any such post. Epstein's arrest on July 6th at Teterboro Airport in New Jersey resulted in his remand without bail, and he was held in Manhattan until his alleged second suicide. So, was he in Hanoi on June 25th committing suicide in a war bunker? Sounds suspiciously reminiscent of the bullshit story that allowed Adolf Hitler to escape prosecution as a war criminal and be spirited across the ocean to Argentina to live and die of old age in a town owned by Nazi sympathizers. Was this a CNBC foxtrot gone bad, then wiped off the internet? You tell me. The fact of the search result having a complete sentence of text that is not present at all in the text of the article the link goes to is something I have never seen, even on the very first search engines, before Google, Yahoo, Bing, Netscape, Scrub the Web, Fetchit, and a host of others were even thought of. It is apparent that the words Epstein or suicide appear nowhere in the article or even spoken in the video embedded in the article. And as I'm editing this video, my feed popped up stating that the autopsy found that Epstein had a sock stuffed down his throat. Well, I guess when all else fails and all you tried so far ended up with your nasty ass still breathing, you poke a sock down your own throat.
Breaking news, Jeffrey Epstein was found dead with a sock lodged deep down his throat, according to unconfirmed reports that will certainly surface in the autopsy. They're going to say death by asphyxiation. We're not sure how many more details are going to surface officially, but we know that, according to the AG, many irregularities have occurred and they are now investigating. What will they find?
While you're at it, clog your toilet, ask for a plunger, stick it to the floor, and sit on the handle. My friends, if sparrows had banjos in their asses, there would be music in the air. Now, if the preceding seems to be unbelievable to you, let me assure you that that is probably just a tip of the iceberg of all the tampering that the big tech companies are doing, trying to maintain the bullshit mainstream media, mockingbird media narrative, switching around things. And, I don't recall that story ever being aired or ever being mentioned until it was found purely by accident. And that would never occur to me to search for Jeffrey Epstein in an underground bunker in Vietnam. But apparently, Stoney's girlfriend who found it had some finger checks with the autocomplete or something, and that came up. This is undeniable. This is something that we can't do. We cannot make things appear in a search engine. That's beyond our capability, as much as our capabilities are. So this lays the foundation for the allegation that we cannot trust the mainstream media. How many times do we have to say it? The only way that this will ever get resolved is the judge that denied Epstein's bail will say the following: produce the body and empirical proof that the body that you produce, that I want to see with my own two eyeballs, is in fact the dead body of Jeffrey Epstein, recently deceased. If you cannot produce the body, and if you cannot produce proof that that body belongs to Jeffrey Epstein, then the trial will go forward. We'll set a date for a trial, and not a year from now, but maybe a month from now, or 2 months from now. And the trial will proceed in absentia. We will try the defendant as if he skipped bail. So when you skip bail, the trial can go on. You know that. You know this, right? That they can hold a trial without you. A defendant normally doesn't testify anyhow. So whether he's here or there or dead or alive or living in Bahrain somewhere or running a 7-Eleven, doesn't really matter. All of the evidence will be presented. Discovery will happen. The victims that are alleging this will get a chance to speak. And the evidence, the video evidence, empirical proof that would have been found anyway. Even if the search warrant was deemed unlawful, there's a thing in the law called inevitable discovery. Inevitable discovery. If they can prove that they would have found this evidence anyway, it's back in. So this guy was screwed from the get-go. Now, he either committed suicide in a bunker in Vietnam. Now, why would he go to Hanoi in a war bunker and seal himself in this room in the war bunker? Supposedly, that's what the article said, and kill himself in a war bunker in Hanoi. Why? I don't know. Maybe they wanted to play the Hitler bunker suicide thing all over again. Maybe that they ran out of things in their playbook. But then he's alive 11 days later to be arrested at Teterboro Airport, held without bail, attempts to commit suicide, while the remand without bail ruling is being appealed and before they get an answer from the court. And then they say, Avangu, stay there until your trial. And then this happens when all the lights are blinking in New York and downtown Manhattan. The lights are going out and everything's happening. Well, we screwed that one up. So a couple of weeks later, the cameras turn off. The guards are told to take a hike. We're going to do some maintenance. I don't know what maintenance you do without the guards there, but in any jail or any prison in the United States, if there's maintenance work going on, the guards are right there to make sure that the maintenance workers ain't slipping somebody a cell phone in their cell. Like the guy who was bunking with Epstein before him, the cop that's accused of murder, had a cell phone in his cell. I guess that's what they call it, cell phone. So they took his bunkie out of his cell, put him on suicide watch, dressed him in a muumuu suit, took off his underwear, put him in a room where nothing's hanging, you can't hang yourself from anything, and he decides to kill himself by eating a sock. I mean, it doesn't get any more stupid than that, folks. It don't get no more stupid than that. Try eating a sock, especially after you wore it for a couple hours. You ain't going to eat no... And then the coroner, from the time he got the body until they announced that he died by choking on his own sock, was waiting on further information. Well, what further information do you need? You got a sock stuck down your throat, and I'm waiting for further information. How do we bullshit our way out of this one? So you can't believe anything the mainstream media says, because they planned this 2 months ago, 2 months before. He was arrested, according to the CNN article, sometime in May, because a month later, he committed suicide in a bunker in Hanoi. You figure that one out. I don't know. I'm waiting for a call from Stoney. This is Dave from Net4 Truth, USA, Whirlwind, Revolt. Stand by.
I got through to Stoney too late, so instead of continuing the live stream we did this afternoon, I downloaded it and included here. I apologize for the quality of the recording. That's why I prefer to do videos that can be edited, get to the point without having to fiddle with flaky software or intermittent glitches in the connection. But despite the less than ideal quality, it is worth listening to. No doubt there will be follow-ups to this never-ending saga of mainstream media bullshit stories and tampering with free speech until the storm finally hits.
Okay, so let me get this screen back and we will start over and explain what the heck is going on here. By the way, I have Dave online with me. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm really sorry. I did not do that. My studio should not be doing that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am so sorry, but we have to cover this. You guys are not going to believe what my girl discovered. It is unreal. Anyway, I'm going to let Dave... So, well, first off, I'm going to say this. I my girl sent me this, and normally, I look at it, or I say, I know, I've seen it, or blah, 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 I got it. This one blew my mind. So I'm like, Dave, you're not going to believe what my girl just sent me. And I sent it to Dave. And when I sent it to him, I said, give me your input on what you think is going on here. Dave, go ahead and tell them what you found with this.
Okay, this is Dave from Whirlwind, Revolt, Net for Truth, USA. Stony sent me this thing this morning. It was a screenshot of a CNBC article detailing, mentioning that Jeffrey Epstein on June 6th, 2019, committed suicide after his arrest in the North Vietnamese war bunker. And it was pretty clear, it was pretty detailed, that little screenshot. And I tried to put this into the Chrome browser. I tried to put the partial URL in and came up with Bupkis. I then tried to put the search argument in exactly the way it was shown on the screenshot and came up with Bupkis. So I tried DuckDuckGo and I tried a bunch of other browsers and came up with nothing. So I went to the utility, the one you talk to, and I typed that search argument in there, and lo and behold, here comes the article about Jeffrey Epstein committing suicide on June 6, 2019, in a North Vietnamese war bunker. So when you click on the link that goes with that search, with a CNBC reporter walking through the Vietnamese war bunker with all the steel doors, facilities, lighting fixtures, and all of that stuff, nothing is mentioned about Jeffrey Epstein committing suicide in that bunker. I think that's suspicious. What would you do about you?
You're breaking up, Dave. Really bad.
It sounds like you're dragging your headset across the floor or something. I don't know.
I've been dragging your headset across the floor. Okay. Well, most of it, and then all of a sudden you just kind of started jumping around.
You know what? I think we should do this with a phone call, and I will put up a video tonight on Whirlwind and Revolt. That because if you can't understand what we're saying here, this is going to be clearly spelled out in an edited video.
We got it. Yeah, you can do that too. But now we're getting it. So we think we got it now. Go ahead and finish what you were saying. I'm playing your video at the same time.
Okay, the search results, when you do the search, the link in the search results takes you to a similar article about somebody walking through a war bunker in North Vietnam, Hanoi. But there's nothing about Jeffrey Epstein committing suicide. Now, I want to know how he commits suicide on June 6th and then get directed to Peterborough Airport on July 25th, then tries to commit suicide a week after that, after his bail is denied and before his appeal is heard, and while the lights are blinking on and off in all of downtown Manhattan. And then 2 weeks later, he succeeds in committing suicide again with the cameras off and the guards, not doing what they were supposed to do, and the prison psychologist taking him off suicide watch. How do you commit suicide in a jail cell with no protrusions whatsoever? In fact, suicide cells, when you're on suicide watch, you get a moo-moo outfit, you get your shoelaces taken away, you're butt naked underneath all this moo-moo outfit that's like a big quilt, and there's no way you can hurt yourself. In fact, if they think you're going to kill yourself, they'll give you a motorcycle helmet and lock it onto your head so you can't bash your head against the wall. And the bars, if there are bars in that room, will be covered with a plexiglass sheet that's bolted in front of the bar so you can't get to the bars to hang yourself. How do you hang yourself? I believe they're trying to throw more stuff in the game to confuse everybody, to get everybody talking about different things, to hide the fact that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive, and either he was renditioned and sent to Gitmo, if you believe the White Hats did it, or he was sent over over to someplace over in Saudi Arabia or Israel, and he's running a 7-Eleven. I'm standing here beside myself. Whatever kind of conspiracy you can think of, other than the fact. The fact is, this guy was the highest profile case that facility ever had. The first suicide since that facility has been in operation. I think it's been in operation over 100 years. And all of a sudden, all the guards disappear, the cameras go off, blah, 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 blah. It smells like a big bacala to me.
It does to me, too. And, you know, the crazy thing is what me and you kind of disagree on. I have to say this, my opinion and my reliable sources, I will say Jeffrey Epstein is dead. 85%. He's not in witness protection. He's dead. The man's dead. Now, has he been taken out? I have no idea. Yet. I will find out. Or did he do it to himself? I have no idea. One or the other, but he is dead. My people say he's dead, and they've never been wrong. That's all I know. But I'm not saying you're wrong, Dave. I'm just saying my people are not wrong, and you know for a fact my people are pretty accurate.
Okay, I understand that, but here's the way to put an end to all of this.
Okay.
The judge that denied him bail, when he proposed $100 million bail,
right.
The judge that denied bail should do this. He should say, okay, produce the body.
Right.
Habeas corpus. Produce the physical body of Jeffrey Epstein. If you cannot produce the body, then we will move the trial date up to around, let's say September, and we are going to proceed prosecuting Jeffrey Epstein in absentia, because I don't believe he's dead unless you can produce the body.
Right.
And he's well within his power to do that.
Exactly. But I'm going to tell you one of the biggest things that I have to say. If any attorney or anybody that's been on TV, any professional attorney says that Jeffrey Epstein is done and comes out later and says, oh, by the way, surprise, Jeffrey Epstein, guess what? They will never practice law again the rest of their life. They will be barred forever. And everybody connected to that conspiracy will never get close to any courthouse ever again. Period.
And here's something even better. The mainstream media is not even alleging. They don't even use the word alleged suicide. They
Right.
state it as a matter of fact. It's what Ellen G. White in her book Desire of Ages called a covert negative. You state something in passing as fact. There is no fact unless you can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt and to a moral certainty. Jeffrey Epstein could be either dead or alive. He's like Schrodinger's cat. Until you open the box, you don't know.
That's right. You don't know what you don't know. How long have we said that?
Yeah, right.
You don't.
But
But
you have to understand how many people this guy could bring down. Now, I don't know why they need his testimony. I don't know why they would need his testimony. The good part about his being dead is now there's nobody to contest the search warrant that they did on his house.
Right.
That's probably why they didn't go and search his island, because whatever's there is buried. It's going to be there.
Right.
And if they contested the search warrant, that chance that the court is going to overturn a search warrant for a guy who's made a career, a multi-decade career of raping young women, young girls.
Right.
I doubt that. But in that eventuality, all of its dangers are moot, because he's the only guy who owns those properties who can contest a search warrant. So they can go in there and get all the evidence against him and against everybody who's been there, because we know he had his house wired, he had his island wired, he had his ranch wired, and everybody that was in there that did anything that was a little bit illegal or a lot illegal was on tape, and that's how they got everybody by the Kamas, from Prince Andrew all the way. This is international international crimes. This is not something that's just applied to this guy. This guy is connected to everybody. He's like J. Edgar Hoover on steroids.
Yes, he is. Yep, you're absolutely right. So there's so much rolling around this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing. Everybody's got their own idea of what happened, but in reality, in my opinion and my people's opinion, he's dead. He's dead. Don't know how he's dead, but he is dead. And I'm not going to speculate on how he died. I don't know yet.
One thing is for sure, if he ever turns up alive, the entire mainstream media, both here and abroad, are going to be discredited.
It's over.
Because into this Jeffrey Epstein is dead. They're locked in. They're locked in. Not even alleged. It's not even that there's any doubt in their mind. He's dead as far as they're concerned.
Right.
And he better not show up anywhere, because if he shows up somewhere, their whole story goes away.
That's right. But it doesn't matter, because people believe whatever they say anyway, regardless. They've been lying to you guys for so long, and everybody believes everything they see. I don't know how many people I see daily that says, no, man, I seen that on CNN. Well, you know what? You're as dumb as the people that put it out. You guys deserve each other. That's where two fools met. Sorry.
And there's another possibility here, Stoney. I don't know if you thought about this.
Okay.
If the white hats were responsible for getting him out of there, this is probably, now I am just speculating, I'm wishful thinking. Jeffrey Epstein, Seth Rich, JFK Jr., and Julian Assange all dropped at once.
Okay.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
No, I couldn't. I don't know how it would be legal for them to do that.
From all at once, all alive.
I just couldn't see how it'd be legal for them to do that. Legal to do it. That's
Well, you know, it could be like, what's his name?
not saying that it couldn't happen. I'm not saying that. I'm saying legally.
Exaggerated. Like Mark Twain said, the rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated.
Right.
To show up. They can't deny it's them if they're alive.
I understand they can commit, or they can fake their own death, but what crimes are they committing, and how validated would their testimony be? That's one of the big questions. But I mean, that's a lot of speculation. This whole thing is speculation, and I'm not trying to add to a bullcrap conspiracy at all, because I'm not into it. I sure know there is no coincidences. But on the 25th of June, this article dropped by CNBC, and they realized they were ahead of the game, and all of a sudden it was sponged from the internet, and the story that is connected to this link had changed, but this link was archived before, I guess, that had come to light, and that's the reason we're seeing it, because we caught it. I didn't. She did. So I thank her for catching it. It blows my mind that this actually could have happened, period. How did this happen? And the article under it's 2 days ago. The one above it was basically telling the same story right there on the 25th.
Well, the thing that people don't understand, Stoney, is the media is controlled. Not only our media, but the BBC, and now even Google search engines are being manipulated to scrub the internet off of things that they don't want us to see.
They don't.
This is not speculation. This is not me or you blowing smoke up people's asses.
No, it isn't. I ain't got time in my life for that. But look, this situation is, they done this, now they're trying to cover it, not realizing. Did he commit suicide a long time ago? 2 months almost? What, 13 days from being 2 months? Is that how it goes? What really happened here?
That is a matter of speculation. If he did commit suicide back on June 6th, then whoever they arrested was a doppelganger.
I just don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense. How could this have been this way?
Well, maybe they created a doppelganger in order to have somebody to arrest, in order to be able to bring out all of this. When you go to a court case, everything's on the table. You get discovery, you get your information, what the prosecution has against you, and you got what refutes or attempts to refute what the prosecution has. And by mooting the case, they thought, they think they suppressed all this evidence that's going to come out. It's going to come out anyway, because there's two people with microscopes looking up the mainstream media's butthole.
Right. Can I say something real fast though? The one thing about this case that really makes me mad, is these girls don't even get a chance to face their accuser, or the person. They don't even get to face them, the accuser. Right. So basically, he took the short end of the stick. Either way, he got the better end of the deal by being either way he disappeared. No matter which way you look at it, it's wrong. I gotta watch what I say because they're gonna slam me if I don't. But these girls are not gonna get justice. Again, it's not fair.
Yeah, I've been saying this for a long time, that the court system in this country is corrupt, particularly the New York State court system, and abandoned farmhouses notwithstanding, they can still go after his estate because they have proof, they have empirical evidence, videotapes of them being abused. So it's not like they can't prove it. It's just they don't have a live person to talk to. And that's got to be resolved one way or the other. The way to resolve it is the judge demands to see the body, or the case proceeds in absentia.
In his absence. Absolutely. I believe in that 100%. That is a great idea.
Yeah, and then put him on America's Most Wanted, and anybody who sees the guy calls the FBI, and if they find him alive somewhere in Bahrain somewhere running a 7-Eleven, they'll snatch him up, and then mainstream media, Google, and everybody else who's covering this crap up will be shown for the liars and the seditionists and the traitors that they are.
Well, they sure could not embarrass themselves any more than they've already done. That's for sure.
I mean, how do you replace an article that's indexed? When you search for something on a search engine, the phraseology you use for the search is based on what is contained in the article, what the text is in the article. So if you have Epstein and bunker Vietnam in your search results, and you come up with an article that says he committed suicide on June 6th, and then you go to the article and it mentions nothing about it, and it's just a tour of the bunker, you have to say to yourself, wait a minute, where did this search, where does this phrase point to in this article? What text in this article, or what phraseology in this article did this search result come from? So they split the article, but maybe they forgot, or maybe it's on another search engine somewhere, indexed somewhere else, that they neglected to scrub, that if you could type it in right now. And I just did it a couple hours ago, and you see that video that I sent you, it's screen video. Exactly what I did to come up with that article that has nothing whatsoever to do with Jeffrey Epstein committing suicide in a North Vietnamese war bunker.
Somebody dropped the link, I think it was Diago, and I'm checking it out real quick, if it'll let me check it out while I'm live, because they are not. Yeah, the dental chair, we've already got that, we've seen that, but I appreciate the link. I can tell you this article right here has been retracted and sponged off the internet.
Yep.
And look, It's been sponged off the internet. You're not going to find this article. They had it out, must have forgot about it, something, and they switched the actual article when they realized, hey man, we're in some deep crap for this, because this is the article right here that you get now. Let me show you. Let me see. This one? Yeah, this is it. All right. It doesn't say nothing about Epstein now. This is the article when you click it, and it's got the little video here. It's not the article.
And I went through that video too, and it doesn't say anything about Epstein committing suicide in the
No,
bunker.
it doesn't.
Either the video, you're not going to index
But it
text
sure
on
does
video.
in the title and the description from the 25th of June, 2019. That's 13 days from 2 months ago. Really? Really? No brainer. It don't make no sense to me. It doesn't make no sense. That article, when you click it, you get the other website I just showed you. So, figure that one out. Everybody wants a conspiracy. I don't like being involved in a bunch of crap, but was this all put on for almost 2 months? Was it just a big show for the public, or what? What was it? Now you guys got something to talk about. But I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, he is still dead. Doesn't matter, in my opinion. In my opinion, he is dead.
Well, he's just as good as dead, because if he shows up alive somewhere, he takes down the entire mainstream media, both here and abroad.
I understand that, but I wanted everybody to see this article. I couldn't believe it. And then when I started, after I sent it to you, we talked on the phone and started diving into it. It's ridiculous that they put it out almost 2 months ago and then changed the whole link to a whole different article and took out everything Epstein.
Right. Well, they didn't change the link. What they did was they replaced the video with the same URL that the link pointed to.
Well, yeah,
whatever.
whatever.
The link was still there.
Right.
That's what they did.
Well, I meant the link. Regardless, either way, I can tell you this. The article is not what the link that they put out says. Period.
Right.
It's wrong. They realized they made a mistake. They jumped the gun.
And isn't it strange, Stoney? Isn't it strange that two guys working in their kitchen can catch this and nobody says a word? That's why they're afraid of us. That's why they're afraid of us. They're scared. They're scared shitless of us. That's why they took me off 3 times. They're scared.
You know why? So we don't lie. What sense do we have to lie about something? The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, the proof is right there. It's their own documents. It's their own
theirs,
website.
not mine. I didn't make it. I didn't make this whole complete thing and get it to get in the top search results. I didn't do that. But either way, doesn't really matter. I'm not here to, say any conspiracy stuff. I have no idea what they were thinking. I have no idea. But I can tell you this for sure. CNBC put this out almost 2 months ago, and it's on them. Now I want to know why they put this out. I want to know.
It was probably planned and then scrubbed for some reason.
I guess, did he die on the 25th of June? That's the question. That's the big question. Did he die then?
Maybe he did whack himself in Hanoi, and the guy they arrested in Teterboro Airport was a doppelganger.
Could have been. Somebody actually in the chat a while back said clone. Well, maybe. I'm not. I know they do the cloning. I just don't research on it very often. But I do know they do it. It's just not my forte, let's say. It's not something that I research. I'm not a big, I have studied MK Ultra to see what it was all about. But it's not something I research every day. There's so many things that need to be put out. That's what I research, and this is one of them right here. If nobody pays attention to this, if you guys don't share this, please hit the like button, share it on all social media sites. I don't know anybody else that's got this evidence, but I sure know we got more than just this video evidence, and we're going to make more videos on the facts of what we have. Nobody else has got it. You missed it. If you didn't get it, you missed it. It's gone.
But let me say something, Stoney. Mm-hmm. What it's not something that we cooked up.
No.
We're just trying to figure out, based on their own documentation, what they're up to. And all of this stuff, all of these pieces of the puzzle don't fit. They're putting more fly shit in the pepper to try to confuse people, to get them off the track of what really happened. And we don't know what really happened. I don't know what I don't know. I wasn't there. But the proof of the pudding is, Judge, demand to see demand the DNA test, whatever you got to do, to make sure that the dead guy in front of you is really Jeffrey Epstein.
Absolutely.
If not, try him. He's Epstein. He faked his death. As far as I'm concerned, he faked his death. He's still alive. He's running around somewhere, raping other women, and we can't have this. So we're going to try this in absentia. All the evidence is going to come out. All the people that accused him are going to have their say. And when we find them, we find them. And if we don't find them, he'll die of old age. But at least the victims will have their say in court. The victims will have their day in court. And all the evidence against all the people that he's ever been with, including Prince Albert, whatever the hell his name is, and all the petables over in the UK, all of them are.
Oh yeah. Did we lose you there, Dave?
I mean, we're just going by. That's the most fortunate find I've ever seen. Short of James Stanley saying that Building 7 fell 25 minutes before it fell, reading from a script. Now, if that doesn't tell you that the mainstream media and even the BBC is in on this big plot, I don't know what will. I don't know. When do you rest in the sufficiency of the evidence? When do you say to yourself, hey, they're not telling me the truth here. They're making stuff up to try to get me to believe something that isn't true.
Exactly.
When are other people to say that?
Exactly. Look, the only other time anything close to this, what we caught here, was when the World Trade Center 7 fell 20 minutes before, or 25 minutes or whatever, before it fell.
Right.
That's it.
James Stanley of the BBC was in New York on September 11th. What was she doing here? There was no stories. The BBC sent a reporter for what? To report that Building 7 fell 25 minutes before it fell. And we know that the insurance scam, $7 billion, was paid off. We know, and I know for a fact, so with my own eyes, there was more gold in the bottom of that trade center than Fort Knox ever had.
Exactly.
Ever had.
Exactly.
They were surprised, and they collapsed the building for various reasons. First of all, the Port of New York and New Jersey had petitioned the New York City government at least a dozen times to demolish those buildings, and those permits were denied because of the asbestos in the building. Second of all, the people who were in that building whose business depended on the internet got the hell out of there after high-speed internet came out because they couldn't keep up with the competition. Banks who had check sorters had to have buffers in order to sort the checks to have them clear the Fed before the 3 o'clock Fed deadline. Otherwise, they'd lose interest on millions of dollars of checks they had laying around they couldn't process because the internet speed was slower than a Commodore 64 with a 300 baud motor.
Right.
I know that for a fact because I worked for IBM and I worked on that problem. Okay? Then they have the...
At this point, the live stream cut out because of a dropped internet connection. Let me show you this little article from Futurism on WordPress. Leaked executive order would let U.S. government control social media. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it says, cracking down. Trump wants to do something most Twitter users can only dream about. enlisting the federal government to make sure his posts get more engagement. A leaked draft of an executive order reviewed by CNN Business, well, that's trustworthy, would give the Federal Communications Commission broader power to regulate how social media sites like Facebook and Twitter moderate and curate content on their platforms. They're not supposed to moderate or curate anything unless they are publishers. They're either publishers or platforms. Take your pick, but you can't be both. While many have called for increased regulation of social media companies, this executive order seems to be at least partially motivated by the perceived anti-conservative bias on social media that Trump insists exists despite lack of evidence. I think that social media tampering with search results is not a lack of evidence, and all this other stuff that we put up forward and archived for the past 3 years is anything but a lack of evidence. Section 230. Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act protects companies from legal responsibility for content posted on their platforms like hate speech, violence, and graphic images. That's why social media companies are generally allowed to moderate themselves as long as they're operating in good faith. Oh my God. But the new executive order would put all of that content moderation under the FCC's purview, CNN reports. The government agency would be able to take away a company's legal immunity if it removes or hides content without notifying the poster. The FCC can also strip the good faith immunity if it decides a company is acting unfairly or deceptively when hiding or removing content. I think the previous example is just something that we stumbled upon by accident that is absolutely empirical evidence that what they're doing is tampering and removing content. In concept, increased scrutiny over platforms that have been used to radicalize shooters, enable genocide, and spread misinformation sounds like a good idea, but the tech experts told CNN that this executive order will likely only complicate the process or backfire. Blah, 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 blah. Total horseshit.
Please subscribe to our backup channels, Whirlwind Revolt, Inglorious Patriots, and Net4Truth USA 2 Patriot channel. You can also find us at Net4Truth USA on BitChute. We fly so close to the target, we're on our 4th fighter jet. We will be relentless truth seekers until the enemies of freedom are defeated. You can support this channel by using the links in the description, but for a $100 donation, I will personally send you a autographed hardcover special edition copy of Land of Childhood's Fears. Also, visit my bookstore at lulu.com/Net4Truth USA. If you are viewing this video on BitChute, you can use the links in the description to support us, or simply click the green $ dot on our video to support this channel. Thank you. Links are in the description section.